This is an ABC News Barbara Walters special.
I think with the new technologies, you could prolong lives to several hundred years.
A lot of people will say this can't possibly happen.
We're on the verge of cheating Mother Nature, extending life to 150 and beyond.
This is not science fiction.
Tonight, the most amazing discoveries.
We stumbled upon this molecule from red wine. I almost fell off my chair.
Need a new body part? They'll grow one for you.
It's phenomenal.
If you're in your 80s, you'll be behaving as if you were in your 50s.
And preserving your body in these tanks for the future.
What would you say to each other if you are defrosted at the same time?
We made it.
Live to be 150. Can you do it? And now, Barbara Walters.
Good evening. Take a guess. How many people are 100 years or older here in America? Would you believe more than 84,000 and climbing at an astonishing rate? Tonight we're taking you way beyond nips and tucks and diet and exercise to the cutting edge of the search for a longer, healthier life. What you will see would not have been possible just a few years ago. So whether you are 20 or 40 or 60 years old, living well past 100 could happen to you. For most of us, these bizarre, otherworldly shapes are strangely beautiful. But the world's best aging researchers see something entirely different. They see the answer to possibly the most important and complex question of all time. Dr. Sinclair, as I look here, I'm seeing very cute little colored cubes.
Well, these little cubes are actually the protein in our bodies that we believe controls the aging process.
If he is right, Dr. David Sinclair has found one of the genetic keys that will reset our biological clocks.
I think we've passed a turning point in our understanding of the aging process.
How did he discover these proteins? This looks like a barcode, but it's really a map of our genome, the blueprint for human life stored in every cell in our bodies. A few of these genes play a key role in the speed at which our cells age. Dr. Sinclair randomly tested tens of thousands of cells, searching for the chemical that would activate those genes.
We found them by accident. We stumbled upon this molecule from red wine. And when I looked on the computer, what is this resveratrol, and found that it was in red wine, I almost fell off my chair. Because, of course, we all have heard that red wine is good for you.
Just so happens, I have red wine.
To your health.
How much of this would I have to drink to really make a difference?
Well, our experiments tell us probably about 1,000 bottles a day.
So that was not the solution. Dr. Sinclair then went back to the lab and found a way to make resveratrol 1,000 times more potent. So what does it do in the body?
Well, what we have discovered is that resveratrol works on a gene which is called SIRT1, and this is a gene that controls the aging process. Resveratrol seeks out that gene and switches it on.
And with that gene activated in the mouse on the right by a high dose of resveratrol, she quickly turned into a mini Olympian, running twice as far as the untreated mouse on the left.
And they were eating a high-fat diet, a fatty diet, and they lived just as long as a lean, healthy mouse, which means that they didn't get heart disease, cancer, even osteoporosis, and they lived 30% longer.
Can you do this in humans?
We have the same exact gene, and we think that resveratrol could have similar benefits in people.
Realizing the blockbuster potential for his new pill, Sinclair teamed up with biotech entrepreneur Chris Westphal, together raising more than $100 million for further research.
And we think that we can increase healthy lifespan. So if you're in your 80s, you'll be behaving as if you were in your 50s.
In the first human trial, a form of resveratrol successfully treated type 2 diabetes, one of the major diseases of aging.
If everything goes very well, we will seek regulatory approval from the FDA in the next 5 years.
I think a lot of people will say you're raising expectations. This can't possibly happen.
My answer to that is, I agree, but it's true. What else can I say? Aging is really a set of diseases, and if we slow them down and cure them, people will live longer, healthier lives.
And you're talking especially now about diabetes and Alzheimer's?
So the major killers of Western society are exactly the diseases that should be able to be treated with the drugs we're developing.
Well, you know what, Doctor?
Cheers.
To the future.
Today, an all-new Ophra. Millions of you watched part 1. Now Dr. Oz is back with part 2 of his anti-aging plan. The key steps you need to start taking right now. It is not too late for you to turn back the clock. Does that work?
Can I blow your mind?
Look younger, feel younger. Next.
Today, we're back. I changed, he didn't. Dr. Mehmet Oz and Dr. Roizen are back for part 2 of our special series on aging. They have a new book out. It's called Youth, Staying Young, the Owner's Manual for Extending Your Warranty, and it's already a bestseller. So I hope you're prepared to take notes because you'll be learning more of the key steps to their anti-aging plan that really works. And you're going to see some people here for whom it has really worked.
Paul is 6 feet tall and weighs just 136 pounds. His wife, Meredith, is 5'5" and weighs 111 pounds. Paul and Meredith are not just on a diet. They're on a mission to stop aging. They are followers of a movement called calorie restriction.
Calorie restriction is eating less than would be normal for your size and weight.
The couple eats just 2 small meals a day, breakfast and lunch, so they go without food for up to 16 hours.
Wow. Does that work?
Well, can I blow your mind?
Yeah.
Because I think this will. The best data we have of all the things we're talking about
Yes.
on increasing longevity comes from calorie restriction. But let me be clear on what it actually does for us. We think we can actually reach lifespans of 150 years with calorie restriction, not by doing what they're doing, which is too hard for almost any human being to do, but by understanding why it works. And I love this stuff. There's something called SIRT. It sounds like shirt, right? Yeah. Without the H. Like momentum. Okay. Shirt without the H, SIRT. It is the mother of all anti-aging proteins. It's the protein in your body that tells you that you're not going to actually be able to reproduce because there's not enough food out there, because that's what calorie restriction tells your body. So instead it says, live longer, preserve what you got, because you can't afford to waste it. And that protein turns out a whole bunch of systems. That's why, for example, why red wine is good for you. Because red wine has something called resveratrol. It's a chemical that turns on this system. So it mimics calorie restriction.
Okay.
Time now for Sunday House Call with a Sunday House Call host, Dr. Isidore Rosenfeld, in the house. He's the Rossi Distinguished Professor of Clinical Medicine at the Weill Cornell Medical Center, and he's also health editor of Parade magazine. But before you check the paper, listen to what he has to say today. Some great topics. Dr. Rosenfeld is back now with some good news for people who like grapes. There is word now that constituents of grapes, constituents, such a big word, it's the skin, and it actually prevents complications of diabetes. That sounds good, Doctor.
You know, we've talked about this before. The substance is called resveratrol. It's found in red wine. It's found on the skin of grapes. It's found in some peanuts. It's an extremely interesting supplement. Harvard researchers have now identified it as having anti-aging properties. It reduces the risk of heart attack. And now comes word that diabetics who take resveratrol supplements or get enough of it in their diet have fewer complications related to their diabetes. Apparently a high blood sugar has a bad effect on your arteries that affect your kidneys, your heart, your brain. And in my own practice, I recommend resveratrol.